sweeping the nation. E.R. Broadley's proud. He says I need the finest boxes to ship my drink to the thirsty crowds. Weyerhauser made a proposal. He thinks they'll do real fine. But first he'll look around all up and down before he signs on the bottom line. Conglomerated Cardboard says, hold on. You know we want that business too. Dermot, Dave, Earl, and Ann, they've all got a plan. What's Weyerhauser gonna do? It's gonna be a heck of a horse race. Here's a hint as to who will win. From January to December, they'd better just remember it ain't product out, it's customer in. It ain't product out, it's customer in. It ain't product out, it's customer in. It ain't product out, it's customer in.
Earl, I really can't believe you're finally retiring, you old buzzards behind.
Yes, this time, Bill, I'm really out of here, you old road apple. Oh, Tom, I want you to get to know Bill here real well. I mean, he's been supplying us with felt rollers for the paper machines for 27 years.
Actually, son, we've been selling Earl pads reconditioned over and over, only he's never caught on. You old dog face, you.
Well, that reminds me. One of the fellas up in machine number 1 said something about one of the felts on the last order not being quite up to snuff. Or was it the order before that? You see, we have these guys write it down when we have a problem. Sometimes they give me the notes, and sometimes the wife tosses it out when she does the laundry.
Say, how is that lovely bride of yours, Earl? No, I haven't seen her since we went on the last tractor pull last year.
Oh, she's fine. Say, did he get us the best seats in the house? Why, twice I got actual mud from the winning tractor on my nose. You old cactus head.
Earl, it was me that wrote you the note about the felt. Bill, there were holes in the felt. Not big holes, but you know, when you consider the pressure that's put on in that.
Hey, you know, Earl, now, there was something I forgot to tell you. You know, I've been adding up all the business you've been giving us over the years, and doggone it, if you don't qualify as one of our premium customers. Now that means you and the missus get a Reno, Nevada weekend coming. All expenses paid. Except what you lose at the crap table, you old warthog. Say, Earl, come on. Let's you and I go up the road to all the beans and cabbage place we can eat. And we'll get all those Reno details all firmed up. Hey, Earl, tell me that story again about somebody who thought there was a ghost in the chip pile.
I was coming down the hallway when I heard you say that we got some bad felts for the rollers on paper machine 1, Tom. How did that happen?
That was last year. Well, although, come to think of it, it happened this year too, but it was last year when I wrote the note. Gosh, I wish I could be as good as Earl is at not worrying about things. I just think there ought to be a way to make sure we get good felts every time.
There is. Let me show you. Now, I've been studying how at Weyerhauser they make sure that all of their incoming raw materials are of the highest quality. Weyerhauser puts more effort into controlling the quality of materials coming into their facilities than most companies do managing quality inside their own plants. They're serious about this. They've actually got a good point. They figure, why should they accept low-quality chips and fiber from their suppliers and introduce quality problems in their own products from the start? They make their suppliers as quality conscious as they are, or they're not Weyerhauser suppliers.
We have to stress the quality issues with our suppliers just as our customers are stressing those issues with us.
If you take a good quality product going in, you're going to get a good quality product going out. If you try to use something substandard, it's very difficult to end up with the quality product at the end.
Weyerhauser has a supplier qualification process that helps new and existing suppliers improve continuously. Together, Weyerhauser and the supplier agree to product quality, service, delivery, and other specifications. They agree how to measure these and what to do if specs are not met. A visit to the supplier's facility serves to confirm their ability to do what was agreed to and audit their quality processes. After all these conditions are met, the supplier becomes qualified. Suppliers that consistently meet product and service specifications and have the quality assurance system in place that allow the mill to reduce or discontinue incoming inspections becomes a certified supplier. If they exceed the requirements, they become preferred suppliers. These are the kind of people Weyerhauser wants to do business with. Weyerhauser is working on developing preferred suppliers for all materials coming into their facilities: chips, recycled fiber, machine clothing, you name it. Let's talk about chips. Weyerhauser has met with chip suppliers and agreed to specs that clearly defines moisture level, species, size distribution, and bark content. If the chips don't meet specs, they won't take them. Weyerhauser samples chips when they arrive at the plant. First, they test them for moisture by drying them in special ovens. Then they test for bark content. They check for chip thickness using this special machine. It sniffs out oversized or undersized material. All this information is recorded, analyzed, and shared with the supplier. The same sort of thing happens with incoming recycled fiber. Specifications define moisture level, strapping, bale condition, proper labeling, and the amount of outthrows and prohibitives. What they're looking for is stuff like this: outthrows, which is paper with shorter fibers or additives that mess up their liner board manufacturing process. Shoe boxes, cereal boxes, newspapers, wet strength paper. They don't want them. In fact, any bale with more than 5% outthrows is thrown out. They're also looking for prohibitives, any material that makes the finished paper unusable or could be harmful to their people or equipment. Plastic, rubber, styrofoam, rocks, wood, medical wastes, yuck. Even 1% of this kind of stuff is grounds for rejection. Weyerhauser grades every bale of recycled fiber. The best is less than 1% outthrows. 1 to 2% outthrows is considered excellent. 2 to 3% outthrows is still okay. Anything that looks like this doesn't make the grade. They return these to the suppliers. They also collect samples from each load and determine its moisture content. 10% moisture is allowed. 11 to 14%, they give their suppliers a warning. 15% or more, they deduct from the supplier's payment, or they get rid of it altogether. There's more. The procedure for incoming machine clothing is a little different, but just as rigorous. Clothing manufacturers supply Weyerhauser with data on a wide variety of variables. Weyerhauser and the supplier test machine clothing quality by monitoring how it performs during use and how it affects the machinery and the final paper quality. They collect data on all this and feed it into a database. This history serves as a quality benchmark over time. They also pass this data along to suppliers so they can keep improving. Weyerhauser stays in touch with its suppliers all the time, giving them feedback, telling them how they can improve. It's a surprisingly friendly relationship.
We've been able to fine-tune a lot of the systems and individualized programs that we work on here due to the partnership that we have. It allows you to concentrate on particular problems and make changes and have a overall game plan that gets you to the end result you want.
In our interest to produce a better product, a better quality chip for Valiant, we have recently purchased a portable chip classifier, which we can take these to the various jobs, which we have 7 in Oklahoma, and we can classify those chips on site.
As you can see, Weyerhauser requires that incoming materials meet their quality standards. They tell their suppliers up front what these standards are. They figure out how they're going to test each incoming material. Then they inspect and test everything that comes through the door. And they give feedback to their suppliers to help them improve continuously. Suppliers are willing to work with Weyerhauser because they know it will lead to a long-term partnership in which both parties benefit. Ultimately, they want to do away with incoming inspections altogether and move materials directly from the loading dock into production. That'll cut costs, improve productivity, and speed up delivery time.
See, don't let the word get around, but I think we ought to be doing things that way.
Well, so does E.R. Broadley. And when he comes to tour this facility, he's going to ask you all about incoming materials.
Me? He's going to ask me? Why me?
Well, you're Earl's replacement. Dermot, Dave, and Ann are going to send Broadley straight to you when he starts asking about quality raw materials.
Well, back in 1948, we repainted the entire machine shop back into green. You know why?
No, Earl. Why?
Because you were selling paint then, and you got us a whale of a deal on a discontinued line, and you don't even remember?
Earl, I'm scared, Earl. I can't do this job. Get Tom or Tom to do it.
But Tom, it's your turn to take over for me.
But what do I tell an important customer like Mr. Bubbly Broadley when he asks us why we have holes in our felts?
Say, Earl, tell me about the time you were leading a tour and there was one guy who had a wife with a funny name.
Oh, that. Yeah. Well, there we were on this digester, and he slips and falls. Those steps never were too stable. I suspect we got the wrong kind of wood. Although I remember, sure as a bell, that I ordered good stuff. So, anyway, this guy falls off, and as he falls, he calls to his wife. He yells, "I'll sue." If nickname, I imagine.
Well, I can listen to you all day. In fact, sometimes I think I do. You old goat's belly.